This is Characteristic. You already know Character did it. I'm here with Don Gotti. Bro, tell us about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do?
Everybody. My name is Don Gotti. A lot of my friends call me Death. I make music. I've been making music for about 13 years now. Fifth recorded my first song. Sixth grade ever. Yeah, fifth grade I recorded it. Sixth grade or fifth grade I wrote the first song. Sixth grade I recorded it. I've been making music ever since. I'm 25 now.
Hell yeah. Where are you from?
Gotti, PA. It's a small town. There's probably like 1,500 people there.
Okay. You cut out during the city name. What's the city?
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I'm located in Florida currently.
What part?
Yeah, my
All right. What was your childhood like?
childhood was good. I had a pretty good household. I would say I was rushed out of the house a little bit, but other than that, man, I was raised pretty well.
Hell yeah. What? How old were you when you moved to Florida?
This is about 8 months ago.
Oh, okay. What made you do that?
Idols are from down here. Rob Banks. Shout out Rob Banks. Shout out Key Money. Yeah, they're from around here. So I came down here. I grew up listening to a lot of their music, and the Florida sounds really inspired my music a lot. So I thought I'd come down here and see what they got going on.
Hell yeah. Now you have a hell of a following on Instagram.
Hate that, man. Yeah. So early on, a lot of people like I used to watch a lot of like No Jumper and stuff, and like I would watch those interviews and like message the people that were on those interviews and be like, "Hey, man, could you repost my song or could you give my song a listen or whatever, give it a like or whatever you could do for it." And doing that with the interviews, like I made a lot of connections, like shout out GBC, Goth Boy Click. A lot of those people, help our early on successes and help a lot, like a large my following.
So if people hit you up from this interview, you'll help them out.
And definitely always, man.
Listen, hit them up, y'all. Hit them up.
And I'm an open book. Just my DMs are open. Don't come crazy, but we could work definitely for sure. But yeah, I know like a lot of people manage a lot of artists. So back in Coatesville, I recorded probably about 50 different artists. And a lot of these people I've never touched a microphone before, So like it went from probably like 50 to 100 plus people that I was recording in my hometown, and called recently, I've been putting together a lot of the projects that we recorded, and like my goal is to drop like 50 pieces, and what I mean by that is like 50 song mixtapes. So like my idea is like a lot of people when they make their art, like they don't like necessarily push themselves in a session, and when they do it's like great, it ends up being great. They're like, yo, we got 5 songs done, 3 of them are bangers, 2 of them are okay, but like I really want to see a lot of artists progress, and like what I like to kind of call that is almost like rose rap, right? So it's like the progression of an artist and their like development, and like I've been helping a lot of artists with their progression and their developments, and like through that I'll have different like package plans and stuff like that at this rate, to help organize the thought process. And I even have like books that I'll write down the different numbers and stuff like that we're running through, and different goals that we're trying to achieve. But right now is like I'm focused on my production as a whole, and trying to build my team and network and position everybody where they could play a role and be successful at it, because not everybody is always the artist. Somebody may be, part of the marketing team or part of the management team or investors. Those are huge within the industry that we don't have enough of, local investors. I mean, there's local talent everywhere, man. And it kills me to see, major businesses and corporations not, instill on the development of early on artists, and it takes for them to blow up to get to a point where they're being recognized and stuff like that. And so like my part of me being teaching a lot of these artists is to be able to like encapsulate that, art and be able to, present it to an audience successfully.
Facts, bro. Facts. I want to know how you got to this point. What happened after high school? What'd you do after high school?
Yeah. So I was actually a nationally ranked swimmer. I was 16th in the nation. I won states. Yeah, bro. Like I was on my way to the Olympics. I really
Damn.
was.
Did you have
Yeah.
social media at that point?
So I made music. I made music the whole time. And that was the whole battle, between being a student athlete and pursuing college or going back to my. So this is kind of where everything kind of popped off for me. It didn't pop off, but I was like, I got to make a hard choice here, right? I saw on Snapchat, on different social media stories, like people riding around playing my music on their like social media, like driving in the car and stuff like that. And that like I was in school at this point, and like I had stopped making music, because it was just a hobby at the time.
What were you in
Um,
school for?
Business administration. And yeah, so but I was also a student athlete, so I was swimming, 8 days a week. We were lifting twice. Um, so in the meantime of being in school, being successful as a student, I started seeing, people post my music, and that was always a dream of mine to be an artist, of some sort. So I had to make a decision, like, and I recommend this to anybody. This is the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. I wish I pursued all three things at once. School, number one priority was school, swimming, then play or whatever we call it. Art. I would then pursue the music. I could have done all three and been very successful at it. But instead, at the time I was young, and I thought I had to make an immediate decision. So, I went back to my hometown and started to hustle and grind, dude, and like started, the only place I knew, and that was really the hood, dude. Like I went down to the hood, as an engineer and artist, and I was like, look, like, I got a booth. I need people to work with. I know people have been dying to make music. Like, who needs an opportunity? Let's run it. And so, like, every person that came to me, I stepped and I made a move with it. Like, people wanted to make music. I brought them to the booth and recorded, what could have been a hit if it was marketed properly.
Yep. Yep. That's what it's all about. You graduated college?
And graduate college, and that's something I regret. One of the few regrets I have in life, not graduating school. Just to have that piece of paper that says, you're verified or whatever, certified. And I didn't graduate, but currently, with that being said, I didn't graduate, but I'm still successful in, I've taught myself, financial education. And I think that's like a number one priority that, schools don't really necessarily teach all the time. And they more so teach it through like lessons and stuff like that. But like, dude, financial education is key to success. And like, I kept messing up over and over again as like a young adult. And like, I kept coming to a point where I was like, why am I continuously making the same mistake? And, I had to educate myself on finances, point blank period. So I opened up a book, shout out Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's a great book. You can find it on YouTube, audio book, 3 hours long. It'll change your life. But yeah, I made a playlist of about 100 videos, and I was working overnights at UPS. And as I was training, I was listening to these audiobooks and to my music and growing, building my character. Like if I'm gonna be Don Gotti, which is the success story or whatever, I gotta live it in a sense and be successful in other areas other than just my music. And that includes fashion, marketing, like being part of a network in a sense of holding yourself accountable, just stuff like this. And like, yeah, with that, you kind of build your character. But I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. First of all, most billionaires are college dropouts, so you're on the right track with that.
I appreciate that, man.
You went
My
to the
one
hood.
buddy,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Talk. No. Go ahead, man. Talk to me.
You left college, went back home, came to the hood, and got some people in the booth, and they recorded. They weren't marketed right. So what happened after that?
So after that, huh? Oh, that's a crazy question. Like, I moved to Philadelphia from my hometown, and that's kind of when things started picking up for me. We started doing more shows. We started, recording more artists and stuff like that. And yeah, so I moved to this city, and hometown, it's like work differently, like brother, they're gonna keep it real with you. They're not gonna be, somebody fake that you just met, or they're not gonna have a certain persona. So when I went to the city, people were pretty cutthroat, but like walk. So me and my buddy Fredo, shout out Suedo, yeah, or actually R.I.P. Fredo, but me and Fredo, we was going to the store a couple of times, and I'd get my Lucy, and I'd get my ginger ale. And these guys like started, they're like, "Yo, come over here, come over here." And I don't recommend this to anybody, but me being the guy, me and Fredo, we were like, "All right, let's go see what these guys got going on." So we go over whatever. They're like, "Yo, we got weed, we got whatever you need, or this, that, and third." I'm like, "Hey, man, I don't need any of this junk, but like, I'll let you know if I do, or whatever." And they're like, and this one guy comes up, he's like, "What do you need, man?" He's like, "Man, F all these people. I run this block." I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, holy shit. Like, I guess I gotta go with this guy. Like, he's telling me to come with him, bro. So I go with this dude. He's like, "Man, you know who the fuck I am?" I'm like, "Dude, I have no idea." I'm like, I'm like shaking in my boots. I'm like, "Dude, I don't know, like, what's about to happen." So he's like, "Man, look me up on Instagram." I'm like, "All right." So I look him up, man. He's blue check verified. I'm like, "Holy shit, dude!" Like,
Okay.
sick, And so like, um, I swear I've heard of this guy before, but I. Anyways, he's like, "Hit me with a follow, and I'll follow you back." I'm like, "Yeah, all right," like everyone says that, So I hit him with a follow, and like an hour later, I text him like, "You better hit me with a follow back." He follows me back an hour later. I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." So I start going, and I'll get to who the person is in a sec, but I started going to the store, and I started, I was like, "Yo," I saw the dude recording the music video at one of the stores, and I was like, "Yo, bro, you gotta let me be in the next music video." And like, bro, I love art, from an outside perspective. I'm a fan of the art before, I'm an artist, to be honest. I really, love to see people's, perspective on the world and life. But yeah, so it's like, "Oh, I'd love to see the music video, how you guys created or whatever, the production." And he was like, "I got you," or whatever. I was like, "All right, sure."
Right.
So a couple months later, I'm at the store. It's probably 8 o'clock at night. I'd stayed up all day, man, because I was working overnights. I'm like, "Oh, I gotta get to sleep, 3 hours before work or whatever." So, um, I'm in the store with my girl, and there's this crowd that goes walking by. I'm like, "Oh shit!" So, what's it called? They do a double take, bro. They walk back and they walk in the store. They're like, "Yo, shake that shit, shake that shit." I'm like, "Shake that shit? What?" I'm like, "What? I've never heard of this." And they're like, "Yeah, shake that shit." So they bring me to the back of the store, like behind the glass counter, and we're near where the drinks are and stuff. And they're all I hear, they're like, "Shake that shit, shake that shit." I'm like, "Oh man!" Like, and next thing you know, I hear this song turn on, and it's like, it's like this, yeah, you hear the beat or whatever, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And the next thing you know, a cameraman pops out of nowhere. They're just filming a music video. I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm in the music video." I'm like, yeah. And bro, all right, so bro, I thought the music video got 18 million views.
What the fuck? That's
Bro,
crazy.
it went worldwide, man.
Who
It's an
was it?
amazing song. So it's Za Sosa, and the song's title is "Shake That Shit." Bro, It went viral, made the radio, all that. I'm sitting there in the video, like, yeah,
That's
like,
crazy.
bro.
That's crazy.
But so from that point on, I started getting posted on like different what's it like social media like promo pages and stuff. And like I saw in the comments they'd be like, "Who's that white dude in the background?" and stuff like that. Like, so it started picking up a little traction. My friends from back home, my hometown, 16,000 people, they start seeing these me in the background of these fucking promo posts. They're like, "Dude, what?"
That's crazy. That's
you
crazy.
know so things really started picking up and it started becoming kind of surreal at that point. Like they end up getting, I would say, song of the summer. um yeah, dude, they killed it. Like, and they ended up doing a lot of major shows that year. I don't know if it was last year or this year. It all kind of blends together. But and like from that point on, I like started taking things kind of serious. I was like, like I gotta, lock in. Like this shit's real. This shit's doable. And I'm talking, but yeah, bro, like that opened my eyes to like how real this shit is and how attainable it is. Like, dude, I was talking to the dude a week before, the weeks before he blew up. Dude, he took over the summer.
Did you get a bunch of followers from that?
No, not just that, but it's just like, Bill, that was just the icing on top of the cake, man. Like I've been posting, marketing, sending everybody my music for years, man. Like I'll follow and unfollow 200 people a day. Everybody that has a genuine connection with me, I'll network with. Let's do a song. What type of business can we do? Like, how serious you take your music. Let's do this. You want to make a mixtape? Let's do an album. So.
Would you say there was one big pop in your, what do you say, 340 something, right? 340K?
So, yeah, so I would say when I dropped Block Party Music, dude, that was crazy. That was 3 years ago. I'll never forget, man. Like, all right, I was working this small town job. It was in a warehouse, probably about, yeah, I don't know, like 15 minutes away from my house. I made music at the time, but I made it more for myself. Like I said, I'm a fan of the music before I'm an artist, and then next it would be I'm an artist. And like with that, it's like started making music. It was like I was really just an internet Tumblr kid. Like I was on Tumblr type shit, and like. I was diagnosed with like depression, anxiety, and stuff like that when I was in 7th grade. So I used the music to cope with it, and I would write, to express myself and say things that I wish I could have said, or whatever the sense may be, to be able to express myself. But that turned into me posting it. Then like people started viewing it, and I was like, I just put it on SoundCloud. Like I didn't expect people to hear it. But then, like, views. Like I said, I went to school. I went to school, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Like
I went to
it did
school
for a few years, but yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is important. I'm like, this is getting genuine.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. And so, what's it called? When I was in school, I started seeing people posting it. I'm like, oh shit, this is real. And so from there, I was like, dude, I gotta market myself. I gotta like take it seriously. So then I started, connecting with different people from different interviews and stuff like that to build my connection. I'm like, from that point on, I made songs with a lot of my favorite artists. I mean, from Chris Denaro, Retta, DJ Nick, and DJ Nick. Shout out to DJ Nick. He's a huge influence in the underground. He actually hosted the Suicide Boys like first mixtape.
No shit.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, and that's what influenced me to want to work with them. This was like back in 2012, 2011 type shit when like they were dropping on Dat Piff. I don't even think the album was on SoundCloud anymore, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's like so being able to work with DJ Nick, Lord Fubu, and all these different people that were huge influences in my childhood, kind of like opened my eyes up and like build my connection, and like from there it was like, right. So from there, I always, like I said, my favorite artist is Rob Banks, dude. And I was like, I always dreamed of like, working with them of some sort. So like, what other way to work with your favorite artist other than open for them? Like, dude, I came up with this 3-year plan, bro. For next time when Rob Banks came to PA, I was gonna open for him, bro. And like, went by, bro, and I executed the freaking plan. Out. We sold out, bro. I was 18 years old. I didn't have a manager, bro. I didn't know what to do.
What was the plan?
It was like just drop a single, drop a mixtape, then drop a video with it, and then I had a little side quest where like, I would do like a little vlog or a documentary type shit, maybe an interview, get something published or whatever, an article made, and then merchandise, and then do a show. So I did these things in order through like multiple times, and to a point where it's like that show that started off as a bar, just like a local little event, ended up being a venue, dude. Like we built that up over the course of less than 2-3 years.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Bro, I mean, I was old at that point, I've achieved every life goal I've ever dreamt of. I was like, dude, I have a Honda Civic, I have an apartment, I opened for my favorite artist. What else could I ask for, dude?
You'll die a happy man already, bro. You said you're 25 now?
Yeah, I'm 25.
It's crazy, bro. You should be proud of yourself, man. You've accomplished some crazy things. Selfishly, let me ask you what you think the benefit of doing interviews.
Doing interviews to encapsulate like the time frame of what you're doing, like bro, it's like a timestamp, it's like I love looking back on old interviews. I mean, it's like you could really tell a lot about just based upon how they're connecting and what they're talking about and stuff like that. So I think they're important for not just yourself to be able to talk about what you got going on, but also for your fan base to learn more about you as an artist.
Facts. Let's see. Where were you? Okay. So you opened for Rob Banks. I want to get to how you ended up kind of being. You said you're essentially a mentor for artists. You help artists in a lot of different ways. How'd you end up doing that?
Question. So all right. So right. So, there was this kid, young prodigy, and hold on, there's a young prod I'd say I talked to, and it was like I was at a low point. I was like, man, I'm done with this music. I'm not doing this. But like from one of my first shows, he was 12. He was probably 12, 11, 13 years old. He was at my first show, bro. He like called me one day. He was like, bro, you don't understand. He's like, you got what people want going on in your life currently. You got to keep going. Like, so we can kind of keep going, in a sense of like staying motivated. Like you stay motivated, your people are going to stay motivated and vice versa. They stay motivated, you're going to stay motivated. Yep. So like, this kid has a really good point, so like, I started managing him. I got a little brother. My little brother, name is Viso, but growing up as an older brother, I always kind of had to like steer my little brother in the right direction, and like his friends became my friends, and like my friends became his, and like we kind of just stuck together, and just like all made music, like, and yeah, like, so being that older brother, it's like I have a bunch of kids, bro. like I got, I got to take care of the fam, do my due diligences as the older brother, and like make sure everything's, straight and narrow, and no corners are being cut. Make sure they're getting what they deserve, and get what they're asking for. Make sure it's proper business being done.
Do you think that the time you spent in college played any benefit, or is it the kind of self-education you did after to know how to do all these things?
I feel like the reason why I left college, dude, was because it was like, all right, So I remember I was in like a sales class or something like that, and like there was a project, and we had to create something to make sales for the class or whatever. And like my idea was like a battery pack, a rechargeable battery. Dude, they sold out in 7 days. People were stuck with their shit and like for months. I mean, this was a 3 month long project. It took all semester to do. Bro, I mean, we sold 100 of these things in less than a week.
Damn.
You know, so I'm like, damn, like I feel like I'm onto something. So like I don't know, like I wish I would have stayed to get the education in the back end, but like I was doing this stuff real time, like I had a music business. Like in ninth grade, I started selling shirts, or I started selling little wristbands, little like Live Strong bracelets, but they were my own brand. They were like 24K. They were called 24K bracelets. I sold them, and I sold enough to get beanies. Then from there, when I got the beanies, I was able to get sweatshirts made. I sold the sweatshirts, and
Who are you
I got
selling them
shirts.
to?
Friends at lunch. Like I
Yeah,
was in high school, like, yo, I got this shirt for $20.
that's crazy.
It's like, dude, it was crazy, man. And like, just based off of being able to do that, I was like, yo, I could do anything with this business stuff. You just 10x it, like you just turn it up. You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying? You
yeah,
get 20 shirts,
yeah.
multiply that by 10. That's 200, man. Sell 200 shirts. I bet you're gonna make a check.
Absolutely. What do you do for a living now?
Right now, I mentor artists, and I'm I'm a jeweler, dude. I sell jewelry.
Are you really?
Yeah,
How the hell
man,
did
it's
you
a
end up doing that?
lifelong dream of mine. I never even expected to be able to do something such as it. But like, for all them young kids out there, stay motivated, stay dedicated, because you'll be able to achieve these things that you put your mind to if you put the time in behind it. Um, that being said, I've been doing business with my jeweler for about 10 years. In ninth grade, I got my first grill from my jeweler. It was a custom one too. It was like my teeth, 101.
Did you pay for
And
it?
yeah, dude, it was like $100. I was like,
Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
you see what I'm
Okay.
saying? I
I
was like,
figure it's
let's
way
do
more
it.
than that. Like,
That's what I'm saying though. I was like, $100, okay. Like I gave him $100, and I'd never expected to see it because I was like, I didn't have my license at the time. I was like, this could have been a scam, Dude, 9 months later, I got this package in the mail, and it's my grill. I'm like, holy shit.
that's cool.
That's so sick, right? So I got just a bottom six set, but then from there I got like a 4-on-4 gold grill, and that was a little bit more. That was like $1,000. Um, Oh, I saved up like 8 months for that thing, man. Like dude, I saved up all year for it. I'll never forget. And it took 8 months for them to make it too. So like, dude, it was like a baby being born. This little 8-on-8 grill gold set. And then from there, I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it a. I asked them, I was like, how much are the diamond ones? I was young. I just
Right.
asked. They're like, 6 grand, but for you they're five or whatever. I'm like, okay, okay. So like, dude, it just planted the seed, but eventually that seed grew into reality, and I was like, I these things, So like, I started doubling down, doing, working multiple jobs. I was working 3 jobs at a time. I was a lifeguard. I worked in a warehouse, and I was a pizza delivery driver. And
Damn.
I just dude, I grinded, man, for like a whole year, and on my grill, man, and that changed my life forever, dude. I was like, this shit's doable, And from the grill, I saved up, and then bought the chain, and then from the chain bought my cardies, busted them down and shit. And so dude, I've done a lot of solid business with my jeweler, and over the time I was just been like, why don't I start selling this for the artists that need it? Because I know artists need it, but they don't know what it is, that they need. So that's where I come into play. It's like, if a artist comes to me, they're like, yo, I need a pendant, but I don't know where to go. Perfect, I'm your guy.
Facts.
So I need a watch, but I don't know what kind really fits me. And this is my budget. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's check out your budget. Let's check out, what type of gold you want. Do you want a bust down? Do you want a plain Jane? And go from there. Do you want a two tone? And even with that, we can, order the pieces for you, so you can have the different types of diamonds, based on the budget. So it's like I'm working with people with all budgets, and I'm really building this business, from the ground up. I started about 6 months ago, made 3 watch sales, pendant sale, a tennis rope sale, and yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. That's congratulations, man. That's cool. That's very cool.
Appreciate that, man. And I really hope to see my business grow, man. Like, yeah, like.
Do you profit off
But
of Instagram or anything?
yeah, but I don't take advantage of it necessarily. Like, they pay me for like reels, they pay me for live sometimes. Like, but I don't know, my Instagram, like they're giving me a hard time. Like, every time somebody donates to me, they take it away, and it's like they're like, your account's unable to be monetized at this point. I'm like, but it is. People are paying me.
What?
Yeah, so yeah, it's frustrating, man. Like, I don't know if I got a message on Instagram or what that is, but like, it's sickening. I'm not too worried about it. I've been paid before, like maybe like $200 from Instagram in a year, but like, aside from that, I make a lot of my money through like management, jewelry sales, streams, merchandise. What else?
Hell yeah. That's the life, bro. That's the life.
Appreciate that.
What are the biggest obstacles that you had to overcome?
Like self-doubt, it's like, as an artist, we go into the booth and we may, have the expectation to only do one song at the time, and it's like, learned is like, it's like, you can't let that be your wall, you can't let that be your limit, in the sense of like, what do you mean you can only do one song? Like, bro, like, develop that, build off of that, it's like, I guarantee you, if you made 3, they'd all sound good. I'd listen to them. Shit, I'm sure you would too. I mean, why
Facts.
wouldn't we?
Facts.
It's like, and that's what I like to, I'd like to see within the music community. And I'm not saying a flood of tracks and just spam, because nobody likes spam. But like, develop your craft, build your production, and progress as an artist. We can all do it. And I guarantee if you progress as an artist, you're going to progress in other areas of your life.
Facts. I know
Like,
you've kind of. Go ahead.
Real quick, because
Yeah.
I know that this is important. Record something I've learned from recording, 50 different artists, is, as an engineer, I'm being trusted with these people's, stories, their feelings, their emotions and stuff like that. So, it's important that, these people, you do a good job when developing, the artist, and like, when the artists come to the booth, they're hurt, man. Or not always hurt, but they're telling a story, or from their heart most of the time. And said, it's like, hold on, it's like, it has to be it's just necessary that it's taken seriously.
They're letting themselves be vulnerable in front of you.
Exactly.
More vulnerable than any other point in their life. They're, you experience emotions high and low when you're making music that you don't feel otherwise.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
I know you've already kind of achieved your idea of success in life, but you got to adjust it now, right? So what's your new idea of success in life?
Man, I have to think on. That's necessary, dude, and I'm really struggling with that. I'm not gonna lie, because like, I set a goal for myself and I'll achieve it, and I'm just like, damn, like, I gotta like set goals, I guess. Like, I don't. Looks like what that means, and it's a little bit scary. It's like the fear of the unknown. necessary in order for me to break into the industry, you know, like do shows. Like I don't do enough shows, you know. It's like, and it's really hard for me too because like, you know, start coming up, you know, they usually come up doing shows, you
Yeah.
know, but it's like my shows and still progressed, you know, in other areas, you know, through jewelry sales, through marketing, through, you know, management, you know, through, you know, all different types of stuff. And that, you know, translates and like with that, it's hard for me to publicly, if that makes sense. Like I go out with my jewelry on and it's like all I like, you know, wondering what I got going on. So it's like walking into certain situations, it's like for me to, you know, do the things it takes to be successful, if that makes sense. Like, and you know, so like I can't perform, but more so it's like nerve wracking, you know, because like I walk into a venue, bro, as a like as a person, you know, just watching the event, and like people are watching me, and I'm like, I can't, when I'm supposed to get on stage, you know, like
Huh.
you know, bro, I shut a venue down, you know, almost a month ago, like standing there watching. People are coming up to me, like asking me what I'm doing, and I'm like, I don't know, like they're like, "Are you performing today?" They're like, "You can perform if you'd like." I'm like, "Dude, what?" Like, didn't
That's
even sign
crazy,
up.
bro.
These people
That
ain't to sign up. Like,
honestly, I'm surprised to hear that. I'm surprised to hear you say that it's that overwhelming for you because you're so confident. It seems, you know what I mean, to me in this conversation. And you said multiple times, you know, you can do anything. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything. And you also said that you regret not trying to do everything before. So I'm surprised that that does that to you.
crazy. Yeah. But like, it's really interesting.
Are you shy
Interesting.
generally?
Not at
That's
all.
so
But that's
weird.
the thing. It's like, but like, it's just weird. Like, for example, like I said, I went to the show. It's like people were coming up to me like, oh, fuck. That was last month, and the last show I went before that was like I went. I was just a prospector, you know, or whatever, you know, just watching,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in my chair in the corner, dude, and like, bro, the artist stopped the show, came running up to me, dapped me up the performance. He's like, "Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show." And I was new, you know, and like, but dude, that throws me off. You know, I'm like being, you know, pointed out in the middle of a crowd. I'm like, holy shit, like, like,
That's okay. So a lot of artists that I've talked to are very shy in general, and then they get on stage and they just go crazy. And you're the that's super interesting that you're the opposite. You're not shy, but you don't like being on stage, and the shy people like it. That's weird. I'd like to understand the
right, bro.
psychology behind that. I'm not going to pretend I do, but
Like, I don't like, bro. I would love to be on stage hearing like my music blasted, you know, like, but just like that, you know, it's like, and like I'd rather do jewelry sales. Like, why? I don't know why.
nothing wrong with it though, bro. You're happy doing what you're doing, and that's all that matters for real. That's all that matters. And the
I'd
mentoring,
love to do
man,
a show,
mentoring is incredibly valuable. I mean, you're leaving your mark on the future of music as well.
man. But something I will touch on though is I'm not doing shows. I just flew out to Colorado to do a show recently. It got shut down, but yeah, man, like I'm working on doing a show, but when I do a show, is going everyone will know.
Hell
You
yeah,
know, it's
bro.
like
Hell
you
yeah.
see what I'm saying? Like that's what I need, bro. Like I don't like the bars and stuff like that. That's cool and stuff, but it's like, bro, I'm really trying to shut
Yeah,
something down. Like my like
venue.
yeah,
Yeah, I
shut
feel you,
something down.
bro.
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, hell yeah, man. Is there anything that I didn't think to ask you?
I feel like we touched on everything. I just recently dropped a project titled ooh Is no, it's called Soundtrack to My Life. What's it called? I just hinted at something that I shouldn't have hinted at, but I'm gonna talk about it. I'm working on an album called Sanguine right now, and that's like the color red. It's like the color of blood. But yeah, so I just have this album called Soundtrack to My Life. It's 50 songs. And the CEO W2R, that's Dumps Wall, shout out Wall, just dropped Experience Expressions, and that's another 50 piece. So
Damn.
like I said, I'm trying to do this thing where we're dropping 50 tracks, you know. So like, yeah, I just dropped 50, he dropped 50, so that's 100, and I got another 50 lined up titled Sanguine. I'm working on another 50. What's it called? I think last month I recorded like 250 songs.
With how many artists?
Bunch.
That
not like
last month,
10.
250. Did you ever leave the lab? Like,
yeah, it was like a 3-day long excursion, but like, yeah.
Holy shit, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. Anything else you got coming up you want to talk about?
Man, nah, this interview has been great, bro. It's been well needed, long overdue, and I recommend anybody that's watching this, John, to tap in with my main man, 100 grand. Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate your time. It's been a really good conversation. You have a hell of a story. I'm glad we did this, for real. This has been Karikter. I'll see you next time. Peace out.